That's right, ladies and gentlemen, today is the final ever video I'll be posting for Madfut 22. So pretty much what I'm going to be doing is going through what happened this season in Madfut, going over some of my favorite moments, and also just recapping on what a great game this really was. So if you're excited for the final ever video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let's get to it. So this is going to be a little more of a sadder video, but still a lot of fun, because this game was truly remarkable for a pack opener game. Now obviously the devs lost interest about maybe 8 months, 10 months till the end of the game. However, we always have had a very distant relationship with developers. That has been from them not really listening to the community, not doing anything that different, and honestly just working on the bare minimum. But I'm not trying to attack the developers today. We're trying to celebrate what an incredible game and community they have created. So this was Madfut 22, and it has ended up looking something like this. This is what my game looks like right now. I have 1 billion coins, which kind of says a lot of what happened to Madfut 22, and I have 65% collection and pretty much nothing else out of the ordinary other than 1 billion coins, and we're gonna get to that topic right now. The hacks, the mods, the exploits were considerably bad this year, and it wasn't as bad as last year's because the last year's mods were pretty bad. Like, you could add stuff to the game and stuff, and I know you still can do it this year. However, the reason why it got so bad was definitely because of the bots, and you guys are probably thinking, oh, the bots were made in Madfut 22. No, they have been around since Madfut 21, but we as content creators and Discord managers and whatever the people who did the bots are, they really utilized it this year in Madfut because mods got a lot less overpowered. Now these mods and bots were so OP that I got 1 billion coins on my iOS device. And if I go into Madfut 21, we will download this here, wait for that to download, but while it's downloading, you guys will see that it wasn't as bad on iOS devices as it was in the last season. Now pretty much what it means is that the exploits kind of spread throughout the whole game this season, rather than last season only spreading throughout Android. So it's halfway downloaded here. It's because my phone auto deletes apps. Anyways, it's done right now. We're going to click on it, and as you guys can see here, we ended up with 46 million coins. Now, in Madfut 21, that was considerably a lot of coins. Now, I know other people ended up with 2 billion coins and the maximum amount of coins. But realistically, looking at it, we can see that I was only a level 8, so something must have switched or changed or whatever, but I still did end up with 46 million coins compared to this year ending up with 1 billion coins. And now something else I want to touch on is a pattern you guys would have seen there. So if we go back to our Madfut 21 and our Madfut 22, you guys can kind of see something. It looks like the exact same game, and pretty much that was one of my hopes for Madfut 22, that it wasn't going to look the same as Madfut 21, and it did. So when I got access to the exclusive beta, I saw that it looked exactly the same as Madfut 21, and I was so disappointed. That was one of the biggest flaws for Madfut, is that it kind of kept the exact same formatting. However, I think it worked in Madfut 22's favor. If they would have changed it up completely and did something like pack win or pack opener for Fut 22, those games have less of an impact on the pack opener community than Madfut had. So this is working, and pretty much what they say is, if it's not broke, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's what they say. So it isn't broke, and I'm guessing what they're going to do for Madfut 23 is the exact same formatting, but I am so excited for the next Madfut. You guys can hear it in my voice. I am probably one of the most excited content creators for the game. I've been expressing it so much. I'm just so ready for this next game to come out and completely grind out. But we're going to get to that kind of later. This is just like, it's really turned into a talking video, just talking about it. And that's what I want it to be. I want it to be a very open video, a very blunt video talking about Madfut 22, because no one else is doing this. No one else is coming out publicly and saying, oh, okay, this game was a little bit disappointing, but there was stuff that I liked. People just open SBCs or whatever, do that stuff, but really there is no one with a platform to kind of express the community's opinions, and that's what I'm trying to do here. So getting back off the tangent, stuff that I liked about the game, and one of my favorite game modes, and it went really under the radar this season, was the drafts. Now, drafts last Madfut 21 were a bit boring. But what they did this year is they turned it into a fatal draft. Now, fatal drafts were insane, and they were just so much fun at the start of the season. If you guys look back on my Instagram account, I grinded to Division 1 in the first 2 days of the beta coming out, and that was really, really hard to do, but I had so much fun doing it, building random teams and doing all that stuff, and it was such a blast to do. And I really, really did enjoy doing it. Now, what else there was a new thing was the Fatal My Clubs, and personally, I didn't really like it. I found it a lot more repetitive than the Fatal Draft, because Fatal Draft, you got a new, different team the whole time, and you got higher rated players and all that good stuff. But this one, it was a bit longer to do, and I didn't really focus my attention on it in this game. However, maybe if they have it in Madfut 23, I may play it a little bit more, but this one was more for getting packs and stuff like that. I wasn't really focused on it. Now, Fatal Classics is just a dead game in it, just remove it, but I think they have to have it because it is the Fatal Classic, it's the OG, whatever. And yeah, it wasn't that entertaining. Now, our LTMs, that was one of the biggest talking points for Madfut 22. It was the LTMs, a brand new concept where they'd bring out new limited time game modes once a month, twice a month, every single couple months. Yeah, that kind of fell through realistically. It was developers' fault, of course. The community was all for them having different game modes and different types of stuff that you could do. And honestly, it was a bit of a flop. However, the Puzzles game mode was a very, very successful game mode, and the Higher or Lower game mode in its prime was very, very successful as well. So I have to give them props to that. Their creativity was pretty good, and it is still a very, very good game mode that you guys can play, and it is fun to do because they have different stuff that you can unlock, and that's what players really want. They want stuff that you can unlock and different stuff that isn't too repetitive. So Higher and Lower does get very, very repetitive, and so did Puzzles, to be fair. But at least in Puzzles, it was a different puzzle the whole time, and it was a lot more challenging to the brain, which people liked. But here, you got the LTM cards, which was a very, very cool idea, and the designs are absolutely spectacular. They're just so beautiful to look at, and I love how they came across with their creativity and their own unique style on the game. It was just so awesome to look at, and that's why I did complete this Nyanzu to a 90 rated center back, which was super fun to do. I got 100,000 higher lower points just by playing the game. So that was a very, very fun game mode. And also objectives. Objectives were very, very cool, but they were in Madfut 21, so it wasn't the newest thing. However, I feel like they did focus on it a little bit more this year. I don't really play objectives that much. Of course, I went through a little stage where I was doing some in the videos, but honestly, they do get a bit long, and it can be a little bit of a burnout for Madfut players. Now, finally, what we want to touch up on is our trading. And trading was a very, very big talking point for Madfut 22, and it was very controversial throughout the community because trading is down. Well, it's down with its friendly and recent and the search by username. So these two buttons here, the friend and recent and also the search by username, they just don't work anymore. And it's very, very unfortunate. We can only do random trading, and it takes like 5 to 10 seconds to get into a trade because they need to verify that it's not a bot. But bots still got into the trade, so it's kind of pointless. But trading was a very, very good game mode, but it did get exploited to a point where players and the developers just didn't want it to run, so they completely shut it down, unfortunately, because of the bots. Now, a topic I want to touch on here, and it's a little bit of a random topic, but it just came to my mind as I was speaking, and that is the chemistry. How are we going to see the chemistry be portrayed in Madfut 23? Because if we get to learn this new chemistry system in Madfut, you can actually implement this into FIFA, which this could be an awesome tool to practice your chemistry. So what I'm going to do is go into our squad builder here, and let's just put in random players from my club. I don't really care. Dembele, blah, 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 Pele, but as you guys can see here, there are red links and yellow links, and there would be usually green links if we can get them. I think this would be green link here if we put in the name of, boom. So the green link, red link, and a orange link, or a yellow link, whatever you want to call it. So these links here have completely changed from for FIFA 23. If you guys haven't seen, I'm guessing you would have seen by now, but it's a completely new chemistry system, and it's honestly a very controversial one in the FIFA 23 scene, but I'm in the Madfut 23 scene. So I wonder if they're going to stay with the normal chemistry or stick with the brand new FIFA 23 chemistry. And I don't know how hard that is going to be to code, but It's definitely going to be very, very challenging, but what a different perspective it's going to bring on Madfut 23. Like, how much more fun is it going to be to build drafts with different players, to build SBCs with different players? Honestly, it could either bring the game from a 8 out of 10 to a 5 out of 10, or an 8 out of 10 to a 10 out of 10. It's going to be a very, very big game breaker. So I am so excited to see what they're going to do with it, because it is a very, very controversial topic. And like I've said, we've heard nothing from the developers. Well, what a video that was. And honestly, it was really good to speak my mind and to speak pretty much the community's mind, and hopefully this does reach developers. I have seen that it has reached them before. Some of my videos, they have been actually notified about them, so hopefully this reaches them and they take some constructive criticism. But for the final time, I will see you guys in the next video. I won't be recording for another week because I'm going on a holiday to Melbourne. I know I just went on a holiday to Bali. Wow, what a holiday man I am. But I'm going on a holiday to Melbourne kind of to relax myself and also to get prepared for the absolute videos that I'm going to be posting for Madfut 23. I'm talking 1, 2, 3 videos every single day for you guys. I cannot wait for the game. And for the final time in Madfut 22, I'll see all of you guys next week and hopefully the week after. Peace out. Goodbye.